know like they do a lot of community service and stuff, and they always, especially.
But you think they're trying to just get so much power, like they like it's really something that they can start using. You know, hey, if you want to get this job, or I don't know. It's just.
I mean, that's all. I feel like that's all. That's no matter what the organization is or whatever the case is. That's always a thing. But I feel like it's a good thing that is being tainted and and it's being scarred by this this stupid hazing stuff. And it's like you shouldn't have to go through that. It's like your whole your mission is to do community service and do all this other stuff. But then like, why do I have to get my ass beat in order to to join a group to get back to my community and build socialization and stuff?
As we sit here and talk, I start to realize that it's just a change of times. I think with a lot of how kids are thinking nowadays, it doesn't go back to those old standards in which the originators put it together. And that there's absolutely a lot of disconnect now between when a fraternity first started, and their guidelines and what do you call them when you got
pillars,
pillars or goals or whatever whatever
mission statement or something.
Yeah, like a mission statement, and now but with the generation getting younger and things change, just like that meaning change. Therefore, they're not going to be set up the way that they were set up originally.
Yeah, but I think, like you say, I think that's a symptom of just like younger generations taking over, and then possibly the older generations taking like a back seat, because I know that they always participate in like fraternity organizations and like the charities and stuff that they do, but I'm not sure how much of an active role they take on campus. And I feel like if they did, if that was a thing that was required, like, hey, if you guys want to operate a chapter here, we need one of the old school guys, like a veteran who's been there for a while and has, demonstrated his, his or her, commitment to the cause and giving back to the community and stuff. They have to be there to, be responsible for what goes on within the frat or sorority on campus. And I feel like that might cut down on a lot of the the hazing and the ridiculous stuff that's going on.
I want to say it's structured like that. I believe because they all have housed people that they in contact, whether they are what do they call them, like an overseer or something, but it's set up like that.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why how
like
does
a
that stuff still
friend.
How is it so rampant? With if they do have that oversight.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, you're not gonna watch everything. That's like watching a bunch of kids, which basically they are, and you can't control everybody for everything. And kids are gonna do stupid shit, especially first time under no supervision. So you're gonna go act a damn fool with alcohol involved too.
Yeah.
Some females, you sit up there and talk shit and get all your teeth knocked out.
They don't want the news to find out, so they sweep it up under the rug and they quietly transfer the kid to another school. Like even with the the Charlie Kirk stuff and all the kids imitate that. That's why your homie did and all this other stuff, and they facing consequences. I mean, but do you think in a way or in some way, shape or form, they should be able to say that? But do you think that, I know the whole thing with Charlie Kirk that was still going on, and people going on online and making posts talking about that's why your homie did and all that other stuff, and I'm gonna stomp on his grave or whatever the case may be. But then they getting punished by their schools and stuff like that. But do you think it's more of a freedom of speech or just a school policy? Because a lot of them are getting, hey, we need you to transfer, or we don't want to expel you, or we, and then you see these kids come online and getting these GoFundMe and they're getting thousands of dollars. Like, can they have it both ways, or it just
freedom of speech moment? Kids are fucking idiots.
I mean,
it just
absolutely. But my thing is I absolutely believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah.
If you want to say fuck Charlie Kirk, you should have every right to say that. And I also believe that if you are employed by somebody who, like a private company, or you go to a private institution, they have every right to decide who they want working for them, who they want representing them. And if they don't feel, and if they don't think, if they don't agree with the things that you say or you do, they have every right to say, hey, I no longer want to be associated with you. Yep. It's just the same as, all the people, online saying, hey, if you XYZ, if you blah, 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 fill in the blank, unfriend me right now. Yeah. And there's no different than that. Like you can decide who you want to be associated with. You can decide, hey, I don't want to be, if you agree with ICE, I don't have anything to do with you. You got every right to do that. Oh yeah. And it's the same thing with the companies. If they decide, hey, I don't want my employees going out, representing, me or my company and saying, X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be.
It's in your paperwork that you sign when you sign up with a company. It's called a code of conduct rule.
Right.
And that company tells you, like, hey, you can't misrepresent us in any negative way. Like, get the fuck out. Like you said, you got to go.
That freedom of speech, that applies to legal matters.
Yeah, that applies to the government. The government can't come after you for that.
You can't.
Surprise. Some people don't know that, and they get up in.
That's why they got the FAFO awards.
Yeah. And you get all up in your feelings, and you think your feelings are more important than facts. It don't work that way. Like
it doesn't.
It just like you gotta know, you gotta do your research. But the whole thing with ICE. Oh man,
we should start doing that. We should start giving out FAFO awards.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's when we just have a moment in the show where the shit busts out like banana. There you go. This week, what is that? Fuck around and find out awards.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely.
This week, Jenny Constance.
Yeah,
Jenny thought it was okay to give Trump the middle finger and throw a brick at an ICE agent, and she fucked around and found out.
Yeah,
But do you think, I know we talked about it before, but do you think a lot of people are being like hypocritical of ICE? Because I be having conversation with people at my job and they are surprised when I mention to them, Obama got to hold the record for the most deportation, right? They are surprised and they look it up. I'm like, look it up on your phone. Like he deported the most people out of any other president. Well, I don't like how they doing it, et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, well, it wasn't going to be sunshine and rainbows. Last year when Trump was campaigning, he said we're going to see the largest mass deportation in the United States history we'll ever see. I'm surprised it's going this softly. I thought we were going to see guns and shooting back and forth. And with the house that got raided on 79th.
75th, yeah.
In South Shore, a lot of people don't know. They found 80 unregistered guns in there. And they found 6 kids that was missing.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow, really?
Nothing on the news about it.
And that's right there. That's right down the street.
Right.
And the killer part is that motherfuckers be that they're talking about they locking up black people and brown. Like, fuck they not.
They got detained for.
They got detained.
But at the same time, like, hey, if it's you chilling in your crib and like you just happen to be, you living in this building. Unfortunately, it got ran over by all these Venezuelans, but you can't afford to move nowhere. And they bust down the door and they arresting you. You just sitting there chilling.
All right,
it's fucked up regardless, but
let me ask this, and y'all can be honest because we know that this shit happens. It's like, okay, we have children under the age of 10 years old on the streets of Chicago that'll get murdered any given time, any given second. It has happened, and shit, it could be this weekend, and it might happen again, and it's most unfortunate.
Absolutely.
And it's most fucked up that it does happen. But tell me when's the last time let me ask you, would you rather have your kids zip tied or shot?
You talking about the zip tie handcuff things or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, zip tie 100%. Like it just.
So I'm lost on the people with the deliriousness and all the crazy shit talking about they detained. Even if they did, because I never saw a picture or any video of any black child or person. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen. It could have happened.
They had pictures of them.
Okay. All right. So they got detained.